Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Higurashi When They Cry. Let's continue, I guess. Why do you hate my father? My mother looked down and didn't answer. I asked her another question. Why can't you stay with my father? I think that was the hardest and most heartbreaking of all questions for my mother to answer. In short, my mother had cheated on him. Golded. She loved another man who was more attractive than my father, who was just that and nothing more. I knew more than anybody that it wasn't my father's fault. First of all, he decided to move from Hinmazawa to support my mother as much as he could. For him, nothing good had come from that. Actually, I think he had a very tough time since we moved to Balaraki. But he volunteered to be her support and tried very hard to do that. I thought my mother appreciated his support. So, I took her decision as a betrayal. I told her that I disagreed with everything, including their divorce. I said it very loudly and made everybody in the store jump. Sure, continue your relationship with Uncle Akihito, but don't divorce my father. That might cause more problems. I feel bad for him. I feel terrible for him. He's been doing nothing but support you patiently this whole time. How could you do such a cruel thing to him? I screamed as loud as I could. Then my mother answered. It's too late. Why? You haven't talked with my father about this, have you? It's not too late.
お母さんね、妊娠してるの。
I don't know whether my mother actually told him about the divorce in person. Ooh! A middle-aged woman who called herself a lawyer came to the house several times to talk to my father on my mother's behalf. She sometimes called him too. My father begged the lawyer to let him speak directly to my mother many times, but it never happened. I could tell by the way they talked that he had no clue when my mother told him she wanted a divorce. Well, again, I'm not even sure if she told him in person. The lawyer told him not to meet my mother, not to call her at work, and many other things too. To top it all off, she's told him not to see my mother ever again. He wanted to talk to her. He called some of their mutual friends, but he only found out the name of the guy she was having an affair with and nothing more. He asked me, "Do you know the guy?" I told him, I do. I also told him that he was a funny guy and given me candy many times. I'll never forget how he looked when I told him that. He hit me for the first time. He hit me so hard that his handprint stayed on my cheek for a while. Then he fell on the floor and cried loudly. And then I started to cry too. I didn't cry because he hit me. Uncle Akihito was kind to me, so I liked him and talked to him out of courtesy. No, that wasn't it. Girls had to be kind to everybody. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. I learned in this world that there are people you should be nice to, and enemies you shouldn't be nice to. The enemies are the ones who would destroy my life with their very existence. Whether they mean to harm me or not doesn't matter. They're like weeds growing in a flower bed. Dandelions are innocent. They take all the nutrition for the tulips from the soil. That's why we have to pull them out. Dandelions did nothing wrong, but they're the enemy. Enemies are bad people. That guy was a bad person. I shouldn't have accepted him. I should have rejected him with everything I had. By doing so, I might have been able to disrupt their relationship. By doing so, I might have been able to make my mother feel like their relationship was not going to work. If I tried to do so, my parents wouldn't have had to break up. My father and I cried together, but we cried for different reasons. He must have cried because it happened so fast and didn't make any sense to him. I cried because I regretted that I let it happen when I had the chance to prevent it. He didn't really have the chance to prevent it, let's be honest. My father stroked my cheek and opened his mouth to apologize. but he couldn't speak and just cried with me. One day, the lawyer let me see my mother. My mother asked me to live with her at her house again. I didn't know what to say, so I just kept looking down and listened to her apologies. My father knew that I was going to see my mother on that day, so he handed me a letter and told me to give it to her. I don't know what he wrote in that letter. For some reason, I was able to imagine what kind of things he wrote when I felt it through the envelope. After all, the letter inside the envelope had a rough surface. He must have been crying while writing the letter, and his tears made the letter all wrinkled when it dried. My mother took the letter from me, told me that she'd read it later, and was about to put it in her bag. I stopped her and told her to read it there. I wanted to see how she was going to take the last words that my father had left to her. But my mother didn't read it. She told me that she wanted to read it alone later, and she put it in her bag. At that time, I realized. No, it's more than that. She's not going to read it. I should say, I knew, because it was so obvious. I knew that my mother was lying. She had no intention of reading my father's letter. She was going to throw it away after I was gone, but she lied just because she wanted to seem like a nice person in front of me. A slight curl in her eyebrows and lips told me that more clearly than anything else. At that moment, I finally knew something else. The guy she was having an affair with wasn't the only bad person. My mother was also a bad person. Since that moment, the existence of my mother's disappeared from my world like dry ice evaporating. I didn't have to hesitate about whom to live with anymore.
あなたの家には行きません。私の家は竜宮の家です。もうあなたとも会いたくありません。二度と呼ばないでください。
でもね、レイナ、お父さんの方に残ったらこれからの生活。
At that moment, I hated my name for the first time in my life.
私のこと気安くレイナって呼ばないでください。失礼します。さようなら。
Those were my last words to my mother. No, to the woman who used to be my mother. After that, I spent many days without feeling anything. I didn't know if the days were long or short. I didn't know which season I was living in. It was supposed to be nothing out of the ordinary, not having my mother around. But every time my father saw things that reminded him of her, like her toothbrush, her teacup, or her favourite books, he shed tears, which left me frustrated. That's why I decided to completely remove her belongings from the house. I roughly threw her things into a black trash bag, and I started to do so frantically. By the time I knocked down her wardrobe, threw a music box hard on the floor, and broke a mirror, my mind was already not working properly. When I try to remember what happened after that, I feel disoriented. That's because the pills the doctor gave me back then made me feel disoriented and lethargic every time I took them. It seems that dullness hit me especially hard, since every time I try to remember that time, it makes me feel disoriented and lethargic, just like the pills made me feel. I destroyed everything that smelled like my mother, but the thing I wanted to destroy the most might have been myself. After I threw all her belongings away, I still couldn't stop feeling regret. I decided to blame myself in the end. Maybe I was thinking that I wanted to do damage to her reputation and successful life by destroying her daughter, destroying myself. And I was about to reach that very last resolution. Oyashiro-sama came to me. Oyashiro-sama told me to go back to Hinamizawa. Yes, all of this was because of his curse. Oyashiro-sama brought a curse upon the Ryugu family because we broke his rule and abandoned Hinamizawa. After I figured that out, everything started to make sense to me. All the crazy things that happened after my mother was gone, because Oyashiro-sama did all that to us. It was Oyashiro-sama's voice that was telling us to come back to Hinamizawa. That's right. We should have stayed in Hinamizawa. Everything went crazy because we moved. We had to go back to Himura's. I started feeling disoriented again, and a dull pain ran through my head. It might be a scream from within me, telling me not to push myself too hard to remember any further. The house where we used to live in Himura's was still there. My grandma already passed away. The house was the only property she had left for us. I remembered that I used to live in Himura's, but all I remembered was that it was a village that I used to live in until right before I went to elementary school. I remembered the atmosphere of the village too, but that was all I remembered. I forgot the streets and even the names of close friends I used to play with. The neighbours knew that the son of a deceased woman had come back divorced, but they didn't know us and we didn't know them. So it was almost like we moved to a new place. However, as far as I was concerned, it was still my hometown that I'd come back to. At first, everything was inconvenient compared to life in Ibaraki, and it was hard for both of us to adjust. But we renovated the old house, and it was only me and my father. Life here seemed to make my father forget his pain from the divorce. Mi-chan was very kind to me, and I started to get used to my new life too. I did everything around the house, and we gradually went back to a time when we used to live happily. Anybody can live a happy life. People sometimes say that some people are born to be unhappy, but I believe that's just an excuse for people who don't even want to try. I won't give in to fate. I'll never give up trying to recapture the happy times that I lost. I'm going to become happy to a point where I don't even feel the happiness anymore. I'm not going to cry anymore. I'll never cry again. I used up all my tears on that night my father hit me. The curse of Oyashiro-sama is over because we came back to Himura's. So I'm going to have a happy life from now on. All of a sudden, big raindrops hit the roof of the car and I recovered my senses. It was still raining hard. It had already gotten dark outside. The shadows of the table lamp created were very dark. It looked as if there was nothing else around me. If I turned off this light, would everything in this world disappear? I turned off the light. Darkness swallowed me. But the cold air and the sound of rain didn't change a bit. That made me realize I was still in this world. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Did the curse of Oyashiro-sama do those crazy things to my family? Or did I convince myself it did as an excuse for myself because I didn't want to feel guilty about the divorce? Sometimes I'm not sure. Since that time, Oyashiro-sama hasn't come to me. Let me guess. It's going to come to her now. I sometimes feel like it was a delusion I created because I was mentally ill. But he did come at that time. I'm sure about that. Am I right, Oyashiro-sama? I was unhappy after I left Himura's, but I came back and I'm happy now. But where am I supposed to go now that I'm unhappy in Himura's? Where? Oh.
ダメだ、レナ。不幸になったとか考えちゃいけない。私は幸せなんだ。幸せになるんだ。
Yeah, I will be happy, said by the words of no happy person ever.
だから、絶対に幸せになれるんだ。
Suddenly, I felt that if this darkness swallowed me, I'd never be able to be happy again. I found the switch of the table lamp and turned it back on. When I looked at the clock, it was already past 11 p.m. I had to go home. I wouldn't have time to prepare my lunch for tomorrow. At least, I'd have to set the timer on the rice cooker. It didn't look like the rain was going to stop anytime soon. I looked out of the window to see the rain, but could only see my reflection. I talked to that reflection in the window. I'm so glad that my father's happy. He'd been acting like he was dead for a long time. The smile on his face is a good sign that he's regaining his former happy life. He became miserable because of me. That's why I don't mind doing things for him until he regains his smile and we become truly happy. When I stay here alone for a while, it does give him some time to be alone with her. Plus, I don't have to fake a smile. But then, my reflection in the window tells me, Rena, you're such a good girl. You're kind to everybody and love them equally. You can make anybody like you. Wink wink. But did you forget something? Yeah, what about Satoshi-kun? In this world, there are people you should be kind to. And enemies that you have to reject with all you've got. I thought you learned that lesson. No, don't listen to her. My reflection is always mean. Aww. She always says mean things and makes fun of my worries. But she always tells me things that I can't say myself. Let's go home, Rena. To your home. Forget about the mean Rena of the mirror. I was a bit hungry by then. After all the desserts I ate, I still got hungry. I almost forgot. Rena-san bought me a shortcake. I've never had shortcake from Ninjumon, but I bet it will taste good. I'd have to give my thanks to Rena-san the next time I see her. Rena-san speaks in a way that makes it very clear how she grew up, but I'm sure she's a good person. That's because she's good to my father. I did everything I could to make my father smile, but I failed. On the other hand, Rena-san can put a big smile on his face so easily. I have to thank Rena-san. I have to thank her for cheering up my father. But I don't know why. I just don't like her perfume. Don't call me Watem. My summer vacation picture diary. Today I went to a swimming pool with my mum. Uncle Akihito came with us too. I don't like him because he's sometimes mean to me, but he's a very kind and funny old man. He told me to call him Daddy for that day, because he was going to play with me at the pool like he was my daddy. My mum called him Daddy, so I did too. Uncle Akihito looked very happy and gave me a lot of money. My mum looked very happy, and it made me happy too. I want to play with him again. I hope my dad can come with us next time. Premonition of rainy days. I opened the window, placed my cushion nearby, and prepared to enjoy the weather. But she came over and disrupted my peaceful evening. She always ruins my time of solitude.
幸せそうね。そっか。今日はあんたの大好きな甘いものがたくさん食べられたものね。
Now, whose perspective is this? Because this definitely sounds like more adulty Rika, rather than playing it being a child Rika. This girl loves sweets more than anything. I like them too, but I can't eat like she does. It would give me heartburn if I ate the amount she ate today. She seemed to be very happy, so I'll leave her alone for a while. I've been making my favourite hot and salty food for the past few days, so she must be quite pleased today. It was a very fun day for me too. I just wanted to enjoy the memory of the excitement I felt today by sitting here quietly, enjoying the sunset. But when I looked up at the sky, I saw some thick clouds forming there. The wind was a bit cooler than usual. It might start raining soon.
大地震や大津波などの知らせとして、浅瀬に普段は絶対に見かけることができない深海の魚が現れることがあるっていう話があるらしいわね。
We saw a very rare fish that dwells in deep water in the shallows today. Just as the ancient stories of sea monsters say, people hate deep-sea animals and tend to interpret them as signs of disaster. They also just look. Some of them look like ultra horrors. Let's be honest. They just look so bizarre and unearthly. And so used to what we used to. So unlike what we're used to. Would be better to say. Didn't matter if they showed up alive or dead. Ah, I said something interesting just now. Even if they showed up alive or dead, it was an omen of a disaster. Oh, it might start raining soon.
うるさいな。言われなくても分かってる。洗濯物を取り入れるわよ。
I grabbed a basket and went outside to take the laundry in. Is the other person Satoko? Maybe? It's Shrika? The clouds were getting darker. I normally like rain, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it today. Or is it both Rika? Like how Rena's looking at the reflection of herself, Rika's looking at the reflection of herself, with her reflection being the future version kind of thing. Anyway, let's go on for a bit.
おお、来た来た。おはよう、レナ。
今日はケイチ君の方が早かったね。
普段を棚にあげるわけじゃないが、俺が朝の待ち合わせでレナに勝つなんて珍しいこともあるもんだぜ。
はあ、レナ、今朝はちょっとお寝坊した。昨べ寝つかれなくってね。
レナもか？実は俺もなんだよ。昨日の大騒ぎの余韻がずーっと残っててさ、布団に入っててもなかなか眠くならなくて夜が長く感じたぜ。
Yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends. I was still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped up that I couldn't go to sleep. Kind of sounds like I'm a little kid. You are a little kid. But given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. No, I felt better isn't the right way of phrasing it. I should say, I'm glad to know that we shared the same feeling. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things, went home, and talked with her parents about how great the day was.
みーちゃんだ。おはよう。
おお、ミオンが先に待ってるなんて、今日は雪が降るかもな。
Yeah, so I'm suddenly reminded when Keiichi said that he was going to go meet her mum and how she was totally different, because she is, and I'm surprised it took me that long to put two and two together. Anyway.
人が珍しく先に待ってりゃそういうこと言うわけ？それを言ったら私より先に待ってたケイチ君も珍しいよ。雪が降るかもね。人のこと言えないね。
It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday. So I'm going to have fun today, for sure. That's science, guys. If it happens once, and then it happens again, it's going to happen a third time. Definitely. I'm happy. Mion is happy too. Of course, Rena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say this, yes? And I wish these happy days would last forever.
なあ、ミオン。
It's like if you flip a coin and then flip it again and it lands on the same face both times, obviously it's going to land on the same face for the third time. Yeah.
今日は何をして遊ぼうな。
今日の部活？何がいいだろうね。レナは提案ある？ そうだね。昨日おとといと体を使うゲームが続いたから、今日はあまり体に激しくないゲームがいいな。
そうだな。レナの言うのも一理あるぜ。部活は肉体勝負だけが全てじゃねえだろ。
もちろん心技体全ての要素において完璧であってこそ部活メンバーだからね。じゃあ今日は何かテーブルゲームで遊ぶことにしよう。
Imagine them playing D&D. Oh dear. Anyway, everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival was called Washinagashi, and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa.
そうだそうだ、昨日沖宮の家に親類が集まっていろいろと話が出たんだけどさ、ケイちゃんの話題が出たんだよ。
俺？その崎家の重鎮が集まって一体何の相談だよ。
いやさ、昨日のエンジェルモートでのケイちゃんの活躍を見てた店長の吉郎おじさんがさ、ケイちゃんのことを相当気に入っちゃったみたいでさそれでいろいろと話を聞いてみたら、他の親類も意外にケイちゃんのことを知ってる人が多いんだよね。
I wonder how many have heard of him from the punishments.
ひなみ沢の名物男みたいな言われようだったよ。
名物男ってのはまた微妙な称号だな。その称号の9割方はミオンの罰ゲームに関係があるような気がするぞ。
それだけじゃないけどさ、ノリもいいし元気があって無鉄砲なところも今時の若い子にしては感心感心とみんなベタ褒めだったよ。
I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I hadn't even met were speaking well of me.
でね、今後の綿流しのお祭りで何かで活躍してくれないかなって話が出てね。ケイちゃん目立つこととか好きでしょ。
おいおいおいおい本人不在で勝手に話を進めるな。俺は孤独と静寂を愛するロンリーガイだぜ。
誰がロンリーガイだ。ローンボーイの間違いでしょ。
はあ、ローンってケイチくん、
Dear.
お金に困ってるなら協力するよ。は
うおー、そこまで財布事情に困ってねえし、レナも真に受けてそんな目で見るな。
You really were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise, teasing each other on the way to school. Rena watched us and laughed happily. Satoko and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were too. From that, I can tell that they also had a good time yesterday. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everybody is happy.
まだ引っ越してきて1年も経ったわけじゃないけどさ。
どうしたの突然。
いやさ、ひなみ沢に引っ越してきて俺幸せになったなって。
どうしたのケイちゃん、急に臭いこと言い出して。
レナにはわかるよ。ひなみ沢に引っ越してきてすべてが幸せになった気持ち、よくわかる。この村にはね、きっと人を幸せにする魔法がかかってるんだと思うから。
レナは幸せか？
うん。レナはひなみ沢に引っ越してきてからが毎日幸せだよ。
そうだな。そいつは俺もだ。
ちょっとなんかおじさんだけのけ者っぽくない？ブーブー。
The sky was clear, and the few thin clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. Washinagashi is just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have a great time, great fun at the festival too. There will be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. And I think we'll end it there for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, see ya. Ooh, we'll be running next time. Anyway, bye.